Howdy, everyone. Officer Rhino here. Well, there was a sad day yesterday where we had a patriot that was shot down with nothing but a verbal argument. Uh, Want to look at that a little bit, just briefly, just go through it. Just I don't know a whole lot about it. All I know is what I see and a little bit of what I hear. But you can only believe so much of what you hear, but you can believe a whole lot of what you see. Let's look at that real quick here. Now I don't know if you look there, but if you look at the slide of the firearm, it's partially back, and actually it's partially returning. You see the shell flying there. There's that little brass thing up and above, that's about half an inch up from it on a picture. Probably a few inches up in reality. Anyhow, what that shows me right there is with that gentleman having both hands trained on that weapon and firing, he was poised to shoot prior to that can being sprayed there, because that can being sprayed ain't reached him yet, and that would have. I mean, you can see a little mist at him. But I want you to know one thing. That can of mace is a non-deadly weapon. It's a deterrent weapon. People use that when they want you to get away. So for him to be firing, that tells me he wanted that gentleman to get away. Now I know I've seen a video of two of them not verbally, but physically tussling. But they apparently backed off there. And for that gentleman to fire that spray, logically, it would seem that gentleman's weapon, as it is on his hands there, has been already trained. The gentleman spraying the mace, if he tries to reach for his firearm, he's dead. That mace is already in his hand. He's using it as a deterrent to get himself away from there. Now, again, this is speculation. I am not telling you this is the truth. I'm just saying this is what I see. But that weapon with that gentleman's hands the way they are, he's poised and aimed. So he had planned on firing that weapon several seconds prior to pulling it out and putting it like that. Because I can draw my firearm right now, and it takes a second to get to where it is. So, anyhow, wanted to point that out. Now I know they had a physical tussle. Now again, can't say a whole lot about what happened because I wasn't there. But what I do see here is if you look at the gentleman who did the shooting, who appears on the right-hand side, look at his left hand. It's almost as though it's reaching into the jacket pocket of the gentleman that's slapping him. I tell you right now, you reach in my jacket pocket, I'm going to slap you. Maybe slap you a little harder than your mama. Now, if the gentleman's going for his firearm, he has every right to mace him, just to get him away, so he can draw his own firearm. I don't see anything about that slap right there that's lethal. In order for you to use lethal force, somebody has to either be using lethal force against you, or ready to, at least where you can prove that they were going to cause serious bodily injury upon you. That man's slap right there ain't causing serious bodily injury. I can tell you right now, that mace, there's a pretty large chance that's not going to cause serious bodily injury. Not enough to stand up in court, at least. So, one of my thoughts and processes on this is that he's going for his firearm quite possibly. So it's not going to look good on the shooter. Gentleman's trying to extend an arm to give him a stunning blow to get him back, so he can at least effectively use some of the weapons he has at his disposal there. I don't know who the guy in the blue shirt is, but if you look at his bent knees and on his toes, his hands up like that, I know he's got a phone, he's looking for a shot, but he's bouncing around. Now, peripheral vision will tell you, if you're looking at that out of your peripheral vision, you think that guy might be coming to give you a blow too. Now, when you create a situation where you have 2-on-1, not saying that's what was happening, but the perception that's important here is the perception that belongs to the deceased gentleman on the left there. He's not deceased in the picture yet, though. His perception's all that matters. Why did he spray that mace? Well, he sprayed that mace because he saw a serious situation erupting, and he was at the losing end, and he needed to get himself away, so he wanted to create distance between him and the threat. That's what I see out of this. Now ask yourself this. You see that gentleman laying there on the left-hand side, and you see that gentleman standing there on the right-hand side. Now, he's not too concerned about him because his weapon's trained on him, but yet he's looking around to see who's there, who's watching. That's not somebody that's concerned about the threat. Now, I know he's laying there on the ground, but that gentleman doesn't know he's gone. So, no, he wasn't too concerned about the threat. He just wanted to shoot somebody. He wanted to shoot himself a Trump supporter. Another question I'm going to ask you. You think that gentleman on the left laying on the ground there's got a family? Wife, son, daughter? Maybe still mother and father? Brothers and sisters? They ain't never going to see him again. Why? Because he had an argument with somebody that had a different point of view. That gentleman on the right there, he pulled the trigger and he effectively ruined that family's chance of ever talking to their father, brother, sister. Well, not sister. He ain't no sister. But you know what I'm saying. Kind of an emotional moment here. But he ruined that chance. He ain't never going home. Now the guy on the right, he pulled that trigger. He was angry he got slapped. He was angry his eyes were burning from a little bit of pepper spray. He's still going to go home. He was always going to go home. Always. You know why? Because that gentleman laying on the ground hadn't drawn a deadly weapon like he did. That gentleman on the right, what I want you to know, I know he posted bail and he went home. He's talking to his family, unlike the guy on the ground. But he ain't going to get away with it. Why? We have a justice system that works. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes getting put in jail. Nobody likes accountability for their actions. That gentleman's going to have accountability for his actions. Whether the news twists it, whether I twist it, you twist it, whether your Uncle Bob twists it. The court ain't going to twist. Well, they'll twist it in their favor, but his attorney's going to try and twist it in his favor. Justice will prevail. That gentleman's going to have to deal with the time where he's not going to be able to hug his family anymore because he'll be in jail. May take a year, may take more. Swift justice, no, that doesn't happen. Speedy trials, that's your right when you're accused. It's not the right of the prosecution to have a speedy trial. Give it some time. You mark my word. I'm Officer Rhino, and I'm telling you, that man, he's going to suffer a prison sentence. Well, remember one thing for me, everybody. If you're a concealed carrier, or if you're an open carrier, do not draw your weapon unless that threat in front of you is deadly or going to cause you serious bodily harm. Oh, I can't talk, but you know what I'm saying. Y'all, I'm Officer Rhino. It's a sad day. Y'all, take care, and being such a sad day, do me a favor. Just be nice. Treat everybody kindly. Have love in your heart. Y'all take care.